Hey everyone, it's Jessica. I'm back with another layout for the Peartree Cutfiles design team with this beautiful cut file from June 2023 that says Green Fingers, and it has some cute little gardening tools on it. So I have cut this out with some textured white cardstock by Colorblock, and I am pulling this off of my mat here from my Cricut, and I am going to back this, and I'm going to show you a couple different ways of how I do that. So I pulled out a scrap piece of paper from my scrap bin. It's kind of a shimmery gray. It's textured. It's just absolutely perfect to back my little tools here. It'll come out looking like they're metal. So that's just perfect for what I was going for. So I just lay the negative piece from my cut file that's still attached to my mat on top of the gray piece that I want to back. And then I just simply cut around it and I leave a little space for the border so I have a spot to glue onto the actual cut file. And what I do is I actually flip my cut file over and I work from the back. So I just apply my glue here. I use Nuvo liquid adhesive, or sometimes I use my Thermoweb Ultra Bond adhesive. They both dry clear. I also have a Creative Memories pen that works pretty good as well. So either one of those, any of those options work pretty well. And I just work from the back and I put the adhesive on there and then I just glue down my piece. So you're not going to see it from the front or anything because I haven't cut out a big enough border that it's going to poke through the front or anything like that. So I just trim a little bit. And here's the second way that I do that is sometimes I like to just glue it down directly to my sheet of cardstock, and then I just simply cut it out with scissors out around the cut file itself. So there's the two ways that I manually back my cut files. I know this is nothing new to a lot of you because you've been watching my videos, but if anybody new is here today, that's how I like to back my cut files. So I will speed this up here in a moment so you guys don't have to watch me back all of this, but just kind of trying to show how I do it because I get a lot of questions on how I back my cut files whenever I don't show it in my videos. So I'm just backing the bottom pieces of my tools with some wood grain paper from that EIEIO collection by Blvd, and this is the collection that I'm going to be using throughout this layout, and of course I'm going to throw in some other ones as well. But I am just cutting out all of my letter pieces here, and then I'm going to continue backing the rest of this file. So for the letters themselves, I've chosen some pattern papers from this EIEIO collection. I was going to throw in the brown on those letters, but I thought since the word is green, I want to keep it green, if that makes sense. So there's actually two pattern papers that are both green, but they have different textures or patterns on them. So I've chosen both of those. The one has kind of a grassy texture to it, and then the other one is just like a grid design. So I've used them both, and then as you saw there, I attached them kind of all at once. I just put glue on a couple letters at a time and then attached them all down. So there's all my letters. They're all backed now, and I am not going to actually do much else to this cut file until the very end. I think I'm going to add some white splatters onto that. But for the most part, it'll stay the way that it looks right now, other than adding that little piece inside the R. I do that a little bit later. I think I actually might have cut that piece out of this video by accident. Here's my cutting tool that I use. I really like this large paper trimmer by Martha Stewart. It's an oldie but a goodie. My husband actually repaired it for me at one point because my kids dropped it off my table and broke the handle off. So my husband put it back together for me, and actually it works better now than it did when I got it. So it's great and I just love it, but it is big, so I don't usually pull it over in my videos, but I pull it over in this one just to show you what I use. So here I'm just ripping up a couple sections of this paper, and I'm just roughing up those edges, and then I'm going to tuck just scraps of the white cardstock that I used for my cut file and to back my photos with in behind these pieces. So super simple, but it's a good way to add another sheet of paper or another design, or it's a good way to mix different pattern papers together. So it's just a nice way to break up paper like this. It's just one solid pattern, or it's a good way to just incorporate something else. So I was going to use that little tractor embellishment, thought is super cute, but I do end up taking it out in the end of this layout. So it doesn't stay there. I decide on doing a different type of design. I'm going to actually back my photos using these same pattern papers that I backed my cut file with. And as you can see, to back that cut file, it didn't take much of this paper at all. So I have lots of this left. So I'm just going to go ahead and back my photos with those, and I'm just going to tuck them in here. These are some photos of my boys in our garden last year, and they were just having such a good time with these zucchini that we grew. We got so much zucchini. Oh my goodness. We were actually giving it away to anyone that we could find because we had so many and they just got so big. So my one son there at the top is running around carrying the zucchini to the car and yelling, "Big Keeny, big Keeny." It kind of sounded like he was saying bikini, but he was saying big Keeny, and it was just super cute. And he has 2 different shirts on in those pictures because we just had so much. I took several photos of them whenever we were harvesting and pulling them off the vines. And the one day I said, just stand by the plant so you can see how big it is. And it is seriously as tall as he is, and it's just so funny. But I didn't actually know that zucchini plants could get that big, and they're just huge. So I had some trouble on this layout, and I just couldn't figure out where I wanted to go. And then I laid in bed literally last night, and I thought about, I guess it would have been not last night, the night before, because you're seeing this tomorrow, so it'll be today. And I'm like down to the wire on this layout. I have really ran myself ragged this week. It's just been a super crazy week, and I've been having trouble creatively lately, and just trying to come up with different design ideas and things. And I was laying in bed last night and I thought, I am going to put some triangles on this, and I pulled out my Paper Rose Studio triangle dies, and I just cut a bunch of triangles. And I'm just layering them here, and then I'm just going to sew a machine stitch line right down the middle. So super simple, but I really loved how it drew the attention to that cut file, and that's my main title. So I just really wanted to draw the attention there, and I thought those triangles would be the perfect design and way to do that. So it just needed something. I tried to put like a sunshine design behind all this, and I ended up ripping it off and deleting the videos for that because it just didn't look right, and it was just way too busy for my liking. So this was a little crooked, so I ended up pulling out my T-square roller again and fixing it. I thought I had it all lined up the first time when I stuck it down, but apparently I didn't. Here's those machine stitch lines down my triangles. I'm just cutting off the tails. And then I'm going to pull out the Simple Stories Full Bloom collection with this as well. I really found that it has a lot of gardening tools and things in it, so it was just perfect for this layout. The Bella Boulevard collection is strictly farm related, so which is great for me because, you know, we're always at our farm and I'm going to use that, no doubt. But this one was a nice gardening layout, so I wanted to keep all my gardening theme going. Right there, I just pulled out some letters from one of my Not Just for Boys kit clubs that I have recently, and those are just some little letters that I used on this, and I think they're by Pink Fresh Studio if I remember right. And then this is that Full Bloom collection by Simple Stories that I'm pulling out. I'm just going to pull out a couple elements off of here. I really like this little garden sign, which is just perfect for this. And then these little gardening tools to go along with the tools on my cut file. So I didn't care for the red handle on that one. I probably could have painted it or something, but I didn't want to mess around with it. Again, I'm literally down to the wire on this, and you guys are super lucky to even be getting this video because I'm really hoping that I have time to upload it because my internet has been not so great lately, and I'm hoping that it works enough for me to get it uploaded before tomorrow when it needs to post and I go on vacation at the end of today. Actually, this afternoon. I'm going camping this afternoon, so I need to get this posted in literally like 4 hours tops. So it usually takes at least 2.5 hours to post on my slow internet here. But we'll see if I can get there, and I'm going to try my darndest to get it there for you guys. So here I'm just pulling off a couple of these little stickers. I'm using the sticker book by Simple Stories, just adding a lot of little cute little bugs like ladybugs and little bumblebees, and it's just adorable and it's just perfect for this layout. So I'm throwing in a whole bunch of those, and that little Old MacDonald Had a Farm tag just to balance it out, because I have that little farmer up in the left on the top by the triangles. I thought it really needs some balance on the bottom right then, so that's why I tucked that there. And then I have grabbed some flair from my stash by Scrappin Happy Studio, and I am tucking some thread behind some of those and popping those down on this layout. This one here in particular says a little dirt never hurt, and I think it was obviously intended for, like, you know, running trucks through the mud or running through puddles or something like that, but it was just perfect for this layout because they're gardening, and my boys helped plant all of these items in our garden, and they've been following our garden the whole time and just watching things grow and helping us harvest things. So it's just been so fun. And we actually got our garden in for this year already too. So they helped us again this year, and we're watching things grow right now. So super fun time. And I've tucked a few of those flares in there, and then a couple stickers from the sticker book. And I am actually going to, I'm going to add a tag at the top too. I feel bad that this whole layout, my light is right on that photo, and it seems to always land right on my photos, but that photo that it's on at the top is super cute. It's of him holding that giant zucchini, and it's adorable. So here I am going to write on one of my tags in here. The first one, I didn't really like how I worded it, so I actually chose a different one and rewrote it in a different way, and I'm going to use that one instead. But it had a little spot here on the left, and I thought that was just really calling to be stamped on. So what I do here is I peel it off and I stick it down to my layout, and then I'm going to grab my stamp set by Elle Studio, and I'm going to actually stamp right on that yellow part. So I just grabbed one. I think it's called the Good Times stamp set by Elle's, and I am just going to stamp that cute little heart on there with some black Archival ink. And I'm going to stamp my date stamp at the bottom, but I'm going to grab a cute little snail and put him down there after I put down these cute little bumblebees. Oh, they're just so adorable, and I'm so glad that I'm actually getting to use this collection because it's a spring collection, but it's perfect for this too, and this is actually in the summer, so I just didn't use any of the spring words or anything like that. I just chose some little bugs and stuff, so I'm glad I'm getting to use up some of that stash. Just stamping my date. I like to use the Paige Evans Roller Dance date stamp lately. That's the one I've been favoring. And I'm just going to add a couple more little bees here, and then I'm going to add some white splatters. So I'll pull out my, my cup here with some water and my paintbrush, and I'm just going to add some white splatters in some Delusions white paint. I think it's called white linen. So I'm just watering that paint down a little bit to make it a good texture so that I can actually flick it on my layout and over my cut file to give it some nice white splatters. Yeah, so that's pretty much going to finish this one up. And as you can see, I tucked that cute little sun in the top there at the little ribbed portion. I just love him, he's so cute. So here's the finished layout. This cut file is in the shop, and I'll link it down below in case you want to grab it for your stash. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and have a great day. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.